Welcome back, everybody, here on a busy Friday. Of course, tonight we've got high school football for you, both on WDAY2 and WDAY Plus. On the Plus, you've got Bismarck and Davies, exclusive there on WDAY2. We've got Kindred and Devils Lake tonight, with the winner moving on to the Dakota Bowl a week from now. Firebirds have had a great season in the state semifinals. Their head coach, Todd Lambrecht, joins us this morning as they get ready to hit the bus here in a couple hours for a rematch of a game that was played all the way back when it was sunny and about 85 degrees. Will not feel that way tonight. He joins us this morning. Let me start there. I know it feels like probably 8 months ago. Can you take anything from that game with Kindred to use for tonight or no?
I don't know. That was so long ago, and we just kind of look, past week to week, and we just go by, last week and just kind of keep building up on that and getting better and improving. So, it's all learning as we go and as we play. So that's I don't know. It feels like last year with that game.
Tell me, I think a lot of people saw your game last week with Central, and that was eye-opening of how well you played. Did it surprise you, or is that a performance you saw coming?
It was kind of a surprise. We just been kind of up and down on a roller coaster and how we've been playing on defense, and our offense was playing fairly well, but everything just kind of came together. The guys played well. We had 11 guys flying to the ball on defense, and we had the ball bounce away a couple times. But, overall, I was a little surprised. I was.
Now that you're here, you got another shot at Kindred. Tell me for the boys this week about, all right, here you go. This is what you wanted. You got another crack at these guys for a chance to come to Fargo.
We just it's one of those things where you play your next game, and that's what we always preach, and that's what we look at. It's not another crack. It's just another team. It's another game that we have to just prepare for and play, and that's how we took the week.
Tell me about moving to the West in 2A. How did that change? Because you used to playing the teams out here. How different has that been mentally this season?
It's a little different, but if you sit and look at it, when we're out east, we had 4 non-conference games, and they were West teams. So, I mean, besides a couple games short of it, it was different because of just the conference, non-conference who we're used to playing, but. Overall, it was a small change, but not a big drastic one.
I was going to say road trips are always long for you guys. Did it change at all this year, or no? Is it still pretty brutal?
It's still pretty brutal. You got Dickinson or Watford. Those are always that 4.5 hour trip. Bismarck's a couple hours. It's what we're kind of used to here in Devils Lake. It's one of those things to where when you go to Wahpeton, it's a 3-hour trip. And I don't know we end up traveling a lot, and it's something our guys kind of get used to, and they understand.
Embracing the road warrior kind of mentality.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you made mad at the high school league. Your schedule makers there. You open with Kindred and Central Cass, both on the road. Tell me about just going mentality-wise. Like, all right, here are the 2 new kids on the block, but everybody knew they were going to be really good this year.
Yeah, they've had stellar programs through the years, and we had a privilege of playing Central Coast last year, and so we kind of knew what we were getting into when they were on the schedule again, and it's great games, and Kindred, we just had to adjust and adapt, and we didn't do well right away. We didn't play very well that game. Central Coast, we started piecing a few things together and started playing a little bit better together, and that was a great game. It was a good quality road win for us, and that's what we really needed.
I know, Todd, that got my attention for what it's worth. You guys won in Castleton. What did that do for the guys to go and get a win like that on the road to set up what happened the rest of the way?
It was big, and we knew going into that we needed to have that. And our practice was extremely focused, and we fixed a lot of kinks from what we had in Kindred, and our guys' mentality had to change a lot more than what it was going into the beginning of the season. And it was very beneficial for our program. And our guys really picked up on that. And that one kind of catapulted us into that mentality of getting better and progressing each week and just playing at a higher speed.
First postseason win since 2017. Tell me about how crazy things have been this week around town now that you're still alive. What has mentality been like after that?
It's a great upbeat for our community. It's been awesome. We we have a really good following anyways, the way it is, and it just kind of perks up the community, and it's great for the boys. It really is, and they get notice and recognition in the community. And we have great support. I mean, our businesses and that, and our community and our school, they support our sports and our athletics, and the guys have really worked hard for it, and they deserve this recognition and just that honor.
I got a message into my email earlier this week after your guys' win over Central saying, hey, Mason Palmer is one of the best players nobody's talking about. So that's your guy. Tell us about him and what makes him so special.
Well, we've had Mason. We've had the privilege of having Mason for 3 years. He's that kid that's close to 6,000 yards passing, and his touchdowns, I don't even know what they are for his total yet. Um, he's that captain on the field. He knows where everybody's got to be. He knows what people have to do. He's that leader on and off the field. He's just he's one of those kids that you see every once in a while. And for me, coaching for as long as I have, his pocket presence and his understanding and his feel for the game is just I can't explain it or describe it. He has this niche, this knack, and the guys really feed off it. And he tries to play at that high level all the time. And he expects the guys to raise up to that level.
How much does his I guess performance bleed into other guys? Like seeing that, how much does that raise everybody else up? I guess is what I'm asking.
Oh, it raises him up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He has those high expectations for himself, and he's one of those kids and he's so coachable, and he expects to play high, and the other kids just they step up to that matter. Um, they they want to play well for each other. That we's greater than me thing, and they play well for each other, and they do things for each other. And when he's playing at that level, they want to raise themselves up to that level also.
All right, I want to ask you a couple big picture things to get you in trouble here, because 2A football I always feel is like the lost stepchild here, because they can't figure it out. Teams are moving in every other year. You've been around this for a bit. How do we get 2A where we got the right teams in this class? How do we do that?
It's I honestly don't know. That's up to the Activities Association, and I think they're working on it right now, trying to get it to where it's comparable, get the right teams in. And I don't know. I mean, we started it when 17, I think, is the first year. It's one of those things where you had 9 schools, and it was great competitiveness. And in all honesty, it's been very competitive throughout all these years that it's been, and it's good football, good quality football, and there's always competitive games going on, no matter what your record is. It's good programs playing against each other, so it's a great class, it's a great level, and who's ever's in it is in it, and I know it's going to be good quality football, and that's what we need, and that's what we want.
I know, because Devils Lake, at least on the basketball side, I talked plenty, was in the EDC for a bit, now is back in the new division. It's been a yo-yo there. Do you feel like this is the perfect spot where you guys are at now in that second level is where Devils Lake belongs?
Yeah, I firmly believe that. Our population's kind of stayed the same, and our school numbers are about the same, or getting a little bit lower, I believe. And it's year in, year out, just trying to find those good quality kids and getting kids to come out and being competitive. And that's just it. I mean, if we look at the big picture, we really want our sports programs to be competitive with each other, no matter what level they're at. It shouldn't be going on where you go on the road and your starters are sitting the bench after a quarter or a half. It should be to where everybody's got to play the full game, and that's what makes it exciting.
All right, so let's talk about the matchup tonight here. Knowing full well you saw them already. Looks like the weather might be a deal. Is that something you can play into? Like, you need 30-mile-per-hour wind and something? Throw a curveball at these guys tonight?
No, we just got to adapt and adjust. We both have to play in it, and they're a great coach program. I mean, I know Coach well, and they're a good quality team, and they do things to a T, and they're very disciplined, and it's going to be a hard fought battle. It's in the weather's the weather, and we both have to play it. So it's just one of those things where if we can use it to an advantage, we can, and we'll try. And if not, we just got to play through it. And hopefully the outcome is where it should be.
Watching Brooks Bacco out there, and we've talked plenty about him, Todd, about his obviously potential at the next level that Michigan and those kind of schools are talking about him. What makes him such a good player and hard to stop?
Well, his size, his speed, he's just an athlete, and he's got a knack for getting open, and it's when he gets the ball thrown to him, he catches it, and we just got to work on just trying to minimize as much yardage after the catch as we can. He's just an all-around athlete. I mean, plays offense, defense. He's good, and he's good. And when you have good athletes like that, you just do your best to try and contain them, and hopefully not to get that big break or that big run, that big score.
All right, I'm mandated as a sports television reporter to ask a football coach: is a quick start necessary? Do you need that tonight, or how do you avoid, I guess, the other part, the avalanche coming, because they're going to be raring to go being at home tonight?
Yeah, it's meeting that beast head on and stepping up to that level of that intensity of, and we always hope for a quick start. Every team does. We always got to be prepared when it doesn't happen, and our guys need to adjust and adapt and go through those trials and tribulations of, and just learning and getting better and working on adapting. And if they can do that on the field, it'll help us immensely.
I know you're only worried about the 48 minutes tonight, but a win tonight, what would that mean for your team, for your community, to be able to win this game and get to the Dakota Bowl?
Oh, it'd be awesome. It's been some time since we've been there. I think 2010, is the last time. It'd be great for the community. It'd be great for these guys. I mean, they've been working hard. They play for each other. And I always tell them, we coach, and we're going to coach them the best we can, put them in the best spots. But when they're playing, even when they're practicing, it's for each other, and we preach it, and they love it. And it's one of those things to where it'd be amazing for them because they've earned it, but again, they have to earn it tonight. So it'd be great.
Last thing before I let you go, and I really appreciate the time. Actually, two last things. For you, you've been doing this a bit. You get nervous tonight? Excited? Like, is there a normal routine you have before the game starts?
I don't know. I never thought about it. Do I get nervous? Yeah. Who doesn't get nervous?
Yeah, right.
I don't know. I wear my watch, and my wife bought it for me, which is awesome. My heart rate, I don't know. I don't know if it goes below 100 at all the whole day. I don't know. I can check my average. I think last week it was like at 110 or 120. I don't know. It was up there.
And you won pretty easy in that game.
Yeah, but it's that intensity of, as coaches, I don't know. I get intense because I know what our guys are capable of, and I want them to play hard, and I'm excited for them. And I just get caught up in the game, and it's I don't know. Do I have any rituals? I have a few, but nothing that is where I rely on every week.
All right, I mentioned off the top, last thing here about the Road Warriors here. What's the best strategy? Is there a movie, or you got the headphones in? How does this work for you guys? Because you're on the bus an average of what, 2.5 hours everywhere? Yeah,
it's about 2.5 hours. So, they're kids. They're going to sleep. They're going to do whatever. We stop, go to the bathroom, give them a little sandwich. About 30, 40 minutes out, we make sure they're awake, and they got to start focusing on the game. And we make it a priority to make sure that they're ready and set when they come off. But then again, it's up to them how they prepare. Everybody prepares differently, and we're at that time of year where they know how they need to prepare to get ready for that game. So our job is to make sure they're up and awake, and then they have to get in that mental state.
Todd, this was awesome, bud. Thanks so much for doing this. Safe travels tonight. Good luck, and appreciate the time today, okay?
Thanks, Dom.
Todd Lambrecht joining us, Devils Lake head football coach. Firebirds have got the Vikings tonight, 6 o'clock kickoff. That's live on WDAY2 and also streaming on Inform and WDAY+. Winner goes to the Dakota Bowl. He's exactly right. Firebirds have not been there since 2010. That was a walk-off field goal that Shanley beat with our guy Lockway was the head coach of the Deacons that year in 2010. That was up at the Alaris Center as well. So we'll see. Should be a great night of highlights. All that coming up tonight. First Down Friday on WDAY at 10 o'clock. We'll break. We come back at a couple of emails. We'll wrap up our first hour. We got the Feenies coming up to start hour 2. Kevin and Jet about Moorhead's big win last night over Centennial. Back on a Football Friday edition of Hot Mike after this.